Yes, Tulsi, we can see your screen.
Okay. Thank you so much, everybody. Thanks for attending this session. I appreciate Team Arcans for all the hard work they have done to, bring the attendees. We are very much thankful to each and everybody attending this session. And along with me, my name is Tulsi Bala. I'm from Bentley Systems. I've been working with Bentley since quite a long time. And along with me, I have Mr. Sanchayan, who is going to take us deep into the topic of discussion that is integrating MicroStation with ESRI and ArcGIS for a smarter workflow. And I hope many of you must have used Bentley or some of the products from Bentley, and there are many changes which has come by now about the offerings, about the product developments. So before we start this session, I just wanted to bring some of the information so we are doing right now. Like, let me take you. You must be aware of our offerings, recent offerings, Virtuosity, which is nothing but 1 year subscription. So I like to take this opportunity to brief. Many of you must have seen this, but for those who are seeing this for the first time, it is an advantage for me. So we will see how exactly a Bentley subscription works. We will see how exactly the licensing, comes in place. What are the benefits? And of course, we will be seeing the topic of discussion today, and then we will also have the question answers, your queries and all. We will all, try to answer them as a team. So ladies and gentlemen, Virtuosity is actually an internal division of Bentley Systems. It is a new e-commerce website for Bentley Systems, which will provide our users with an easy way to purchase any Bentley products like MicroStation. It could be Synchro, ProjectWise, Plaxis, OpenFlows, and the list goes on when you, take a look to the website. So maybe you are from a big company, or you are a small company, or you are a solo practitioner. You could purchase these softwares, these products via Virtuosity, which consist of practitioner licenses, and it is bundled with expert services, basically. So what is that exactly is all about? I'm going to explain everything. If you are even an existing user, you want to add some new licenses which is coming for a very short period of time, you can buy this licenses and use it instantly. So let me show exactly how it looks like. When you go to this website, type in URL, type in in.virtuosity.com. This will take you to this page. This is the very first page. And from here, you can drill down to the softwares, then trainings. All the things are mentioned over here. You can also have the pricings over here. So this is very simple. So now I like to share how exactly the subscriptions are all about. You will basically get 1 year annual subscriptions for the software that you are purchasing. All these licenses are basically named user licenses. There are no long-term investments needed, since it is going to be a subscription for a year, and you will not be paying any additional maintenance cost for the licenses. Okay, you will be having complete control on the software investments, because, as I said, the pricings are already mentioned on the portal. And then during this one complete year of offering, you will be covered with the technical assistance, which is the interesting part. And along with that, you are entitled to get all the software updates, if at all it comes in the year. Okay. And most importantly is how to utilize the keys. These are basically the keys wherein you utilize all these benefits. So okay, so these are basically the offerings. Many of you must be aware that we were having a perpetual license offering earlier, but now we have the same perpetual license along with the AMC, and along with that, we do have Virtuosity annual subscriptions, right? Okay, so the keys are basically the core fun of this offering. So every Virtuosity subscription comes with the keys which will help you unlock the expertise or the expert services like mentoring, on demand courses, or tailor made training programs. You can utilize these keys to train any new engineer, say, for example, coming your organization, and you're worried how to train this engineer. We have purchased the license. So that's where the keys are basically coming in picture. It could be either used as a refresher course to your existing team, or you can, use this for your professional uh, projects also, which are coming. So you can just take the problem statements and send it to our technical team using these keys, and they shall come back to you with a proper solution. So that's how basically you can utilize these keys as and when required. Okay. And as Bentley colleagues, we are, going to assist you for all the requirements you're having. And the process basically takes a very short time. Okay, it is all you have to do is go to the website, book your order, and soon you book your order, you will get an automatic email acknowledgement coming from Bentley side. With that acknowledgement, you will also have the payment details. Okay, so once you're done with the payments, then the billing starts, and in no time you get your licenses. And then followed by that, the technical assistance comes. So it's very simple. Whenever you feel, you can go to the website, take a look, and book your order. Okay. So with that, I summarize my informations on this yearly subscriptions, and these are some of our details. You can take a look. Any queries you have, either you can reach out to Arkan's team, or you can also reach out to Bentley team. So we are always there up for your help. Okay. So that's it from my side. And right now, I will hand over to Sanchayan, who will take you deep into the demonstration today. So, Sanchayan, over to you.
Yep. Thanks, Tulsi. Let me quickly share my screen. Uh, Guys, please let me know if you can see my screen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
visible.
your screen is visible, Sanjay. You can continue.
Okay. Okay. Great. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sanchayan Chatterjee. I'm a manager for product success, and I'm going to take you through the technical part of today's topic, which is integrating MicroStation with ESRI ArcGIS for smarter workflows. So the first thing that we are going to do is we are going to compile what are we going to learn in this particular session. So let's look at the agenda for today. So we are going to talk about geospatial data. So we will begin to understand the geospatial data and what it means to incorporate existing context in your design models. Next, we will see what is new in MicroStation in the form of geospatial workflow and the updates that has happened in MicroStation 2024. We will then look at some of the use cases of point clouds and reality meshes. And we are also going to understand the capabilities of Descartes workflow inside MicroStation. So let's get started. The first thing that we are going to talk about is geospatial 101. So now many of you people will say, what is geospatial 101? So geospatial data is the data related to location on Earth. Like we see in this figure, that there are two major types of data. One is vector data, another one is raster data. As example, which is mentioned over here, vector layers is presented for different administrative boundaries, which are actually represented by polygons. You can see different streets, which are represented by lines, and parcels that are also represented by polygons. Now, these are just for vector layers. And for raster layers, you can use land usage, you can use elevation, and it is actually represented by grid. So this is the basis of what geospatial data is. The next important thing is it's important to understand what is geospatial context. Okay, so bringing the geospatial context refer to incorporating geographic information and spatial relationship to design process. This involves integrating data related to physical location and characteristics of objects within the design, often by using GIS data or geospatial data. Now, how important is geographical location, which is significant factor for your project? It is very important. So over here, you can see that data comes in different layers. So you can see that I have a street data, which is in a different layer. I have a building data, which is in a different layer. I have a vegetation data, which is also in a different layer, but I can combine them all together into one integrated data, which will have all the layers within it. Now, this will help you with different interpretation whenever you are working on a particular model. Another important thing to note over here is that with the help of GIS data that is coming inside MicroStation, it is coming in different formats. Now, one of the most used format is the ESRI shapefiles. So in MicroStation, you will be able to directly reference in ESRI files coming from ESRI software and apply a symbology template to any of these files. Now, applying this template will be very, very easy for you to do, because to identify the different kind of data referenced, you can create different type of layers. So like we have over here, so we have a lake, we have a road, we have a park, as well as a state border. Now, the business data attached to any of these entities and elements can be reviewed, selecting the element via Project Explorer. And another way to review the element properties is by selecting the element directly on the model view. Now, the element will appear in the selected elements group, and the properties will appear in the properties window. Now, say, for example, if I want to review all of the properties, say, for example, I want to drag and see all of the properties which are assigned over here. So what can I do? We can look at all of the examples very easily. I just need to select all of the information. And if I want to review the properties, a big selection group is done. And in the details of the dialog, it will show you all of the data. And all of these are in matrix format. So you can see on my screen, roads, streams, all data, lakes, all data are there in a matrix format for you to view. Now, another important functionality which MicroStation provides to you is that MicroStation is now able to import and export shapefiles. So shapefiles is a well-known GIS format, and exporting of shapefiles was not previously possible, but now it is possible inside MicroStation. With the help of this new export shapefile tool, it will provide the user with better interoperability with GIS software. And in both import and export shapefile cases, there is a new direct integration of shapefiles with ProjectWise. So you can see, once you import a shapefile, after you have worked on it, you can export the entire thing as well. Now, why this geospatial context is important? Because we have understood the pain point for users. We have heard our users about the different challenges and workarounds to bring geospatial context into the workflow that they are doing. Now, I understand that it's difficult for non-GIS MicroStation users to know what tools can access web geospatial context data. Now, in previous releases of MicroStation, the users actually had to implement workaround to view GIS data in their design application. So now we have made this much more simpler. We have heard what your complaints were, and we understand that geospatial context play a crucial role in many of your design workflow. And we are completely committed to help our customer integrate this data efficiently. We recognize that many of our customers face challenges when it comes to bringing in geospatial context into design workflow. So that is why we have put a proper solution to all of your concerns. So we have included the new geospatial workflow inside MicroStation. Now it consists of 4 different parts. So I have categorically, segregated this. So one is geographic. In this, you will be able to assign coordinate system, which was also there previously, and you will be able to display Bing maps. Now, Bing maps was also there previously, but the Bing map it has a certain UX enhancement that has happened. So Bing Maps is now developed well by Microsoft, and we have integrated that information. Now, the next part is the ESRI features. So the ESRI ArcGIS features and the OGC WFS feature services. With this, you will be able to clearly view data. You will be able to edit data locally, and you will be able to search data very easily. And the final one is the raster services, in which you will be able to view data. This raster data will actually give you the power to gather information from servers created by different organizations. So we know that many owner operators have their own GIS server, so you will be able to fetch data from there as well. The first thing that I'm going to talk about is the Bing map integration and why is it important? Because adding Bing map as a background map provides a proper visual representation of the geographic context in which your design and data is located. Now, this context is essential for understanding how your project interacts with its surroundings. So let's look at an example of how you locate your project in real life coordinates. So in this example, you will be able to see that Bing map data can only be displayed in the model that has a geographic coordinate system. So if you do not have a geographic coordinate system, you should click on yes, and it will automatically open the geographic coordinate system dialog, which will allow you the selection of any geographic coordinate system that you want. Using this tool, you can see that the operation has to be redone for each view. So once you have opened in a particular view, you have to redo it for different views. So with this tool, it is possible to change the display of Bing map for several views in a single operation. But when I use it, I generally tend to use it for one particular view, and you are able to change the map type and select the view targets that you want to select. So I have changed it from normal to aerial, and you can see that the map type is changing as well. So tell me this, that this is very important, because whatever you are working with, you get actual geospatial context data on your computer. You do not have to open any other application. Everything is included within MicroStation. The next thing that we want to discuss is what is the ESRI ArcGIS REST feature service. So the ESRI REST feature service actually provides you access to a vector representation of each features that is stored on the server. Now, this is a direct integration of ESRI ArcGIS REST feature service, which saves time by avoiding having to go through an intermediate format such as shapefile. So MicroStation feature supports shapefiles, but you will also be able to query the server and search for copies of the feature inside the active model. Now, if an entity is modified on the server, its local copy will not be automatically updated. It will be updated the next time you run the query tool whenever you're working. Now, with this, we have understood that there were certain pain points that Bentley users were having. So one of the pain point was that there was no direct access to geospatial data that was available on the web, and contextual data was important when designing, but it was not available. So we have done a direct integration of ESRI ArcGIS REST feature service, which actually saves you a lot of time by avoiding to having go through an intermediate format such as a shapefile. So you can actually gather the data directly from the ESRI servers, and it will be updated with real time. So what does this provide? It provides you an improved user experience. You do not have to go to intermediate files. You will have all the access features that is available through ESRI ArcGIS REST feature service, and it saves you a lot of time. Now, this is another example that I'm going to show you how the ESRI ArcGIS REST feature service works. So you will be able to allow the query features from the service and create a DGN representation of the features in the active model. The connection name will be automatically initialized with the name of ESRI feature service. Now, this name can be edited by the user, and the connection name used over here is in the level name in the item type library. Now, when using the query feature tool, only features that overlap the extent of the active view are created. For each feature, a DGN element is created and placed on a level generated named by appending the connection name of the layer name. Now, geographic attributes such as colors, line weights, and also read from the server, and it is used when creating DGN elements. Finally, the non-graphical information, commonly called business properties, are also read and saved in item types linked to the DGN elements. So everything is possible with the help of the ESRI ArcGIS REST feature. Now, another thing that has been implemented is the ESRI ArcGIS REST map and image service. So ESRI REST map service provides live imagery data that is displayed through the MicroStation engine. The data is displayed that comes from a map that has been defined in the ESRI environment and shared by their REST service. The integration of ESRI ArcGIS map service in MicroStation makes it possible for you to display these maps as they were created and displayed via the raster manager. Now, again, it was the same problem, like why we have worked on this, because we know that users need access to maps and images as they were created and published in the ESRI environment. So previously this was not available. So with the integration of this, the ESRI ArcGIS map and image service actually coordinates with our raster manager to show you all the maps and images that were published and created in the ESRI environment. Now what it does, it improves the user experience. It gives you a time saving inside your workflow, and you get all the access to capabilities of the ESRI ArcGIS REST map and image service. Another example I'd like to show you. To support the ESRI REST map service allows you to dynamically display raster data from the ESRI web service. The data is displayed through raster manager. So many ESRI map service allow the user to select the desired layer. In this layer, we are going to only select the Philadelphia street center lines. Okay. Now, since the ESRI map service data is displayed in an image through raster manager, it is possible to control the display through the raster manager. So let me create an example. So we have view 1 and view 2. What I have done is I have controlled the raster manager, where in view 1, I can see all of the ESRI map service data, but in view 2, I am able to remove the information from the raster manager. So in this way, you can coordinate a lot. Another feature that has been added is the ESRI ArcGIS REST map service, the feature info. So the get feature attribute information is available from the ESRI ArcGIS map service on just one click. Now, previously, users did not have access to detailed information of features used to build the raster representation of the map. Now you will get all the benefits of ESRI map service over ESRI feature service without losing access to the feature attributes. These benefits include faster display and up-to-date information, which was previously not available. Similarly,
Sanjay,
it is possible. Yeah, Tulsi.
we have poll questions also. I think in between we can also have this poll questions rolling up.
Sure, sure. Let me complete the GIS part, then we'll go for a poll question.
Okay, okay.
Okay, okay. So now it is possible to define symbology of elements using element templates. So previously, the symbolization of elements were defined by the ESRI services, which would always match the users how they want the element to behave in MicroStation. But now elements can be displayed either by the way they are set up in the GIS or how by the users they want to be displayed in MicroStation. Say, for example, transparency. So if you have incorporated an ESRI service, you will be able to actually play along with the transparency, which was previously not there. So a lot of information can be processed and you can play with the transparency to check the view of how it will look. It is also possible to select the spatial extent and connections to be used when querying and clearing geospatial feature. Now, previously, it was only possible to query the extent of the active view, and the clear tool was deleting all the spatial features. Now it is possible to query the full scope of a project every time like this way. So we go to the query features, we select this particular view, we turn on the query features, you will be able to see everything is here. Now we can go to the edit feature service connection. We go over here and then we run again the query feature and we provide name boundaries. And then once we run, you will be able to see all of these getting updated and synchronized in real time. So again, I can go for the fence and you will be able to see that the fence changes as well. So the query and clear feature tool have a lot to offer. in MicroStation 2024. The last thing in ESRI, the geospatial workflow that I want to discuss is the Open Geospatial Consortium standards. Now, this has also been incorporated in MicroStation, but many of you may say that what is Open Geospatial Consortium? So the new Open Geospatial Consortium is a representation of 500, it's a global consortium which has an open standard and it is an international standard. So the Open Geospatial Consortium is an international standards organization that develops and promotes open standard for geospatial technologies. So OGC is the leading international organization for coordinating standards related to geospatial information. So we also support some of the OGC standards like Web Map Service, which is WMS. We also support the Web Map Tile Service, which is WMTS, as well as the Web Feature Service, which is WFS. So all of them are supported inside MicroStation, and you can integrate all of them with our geospatial context workflow. So the OGC Web Feature Service is now you will be able to use in MicroStation. You will be able to share this connection and query the server and create DGN elements, including the values of its semantic properties, which are there in the item types. So this is another example where connecting to the OGC WFS service allows to query features from the service and create a DGN representation of features in the active model. Now, these are the same tools used for connecting and manipulating ESRI features and WFS service. It is the application that takes care of communicating with the server as it should, depending on the type of the data. Now, since WFS server do not have a named specific in their capabilities, the automatically generated name for the connection is taken directly from the URL. So the user can give it a personalized name if he or she wishes to simplify it. The graphic attributes such as colors can be changed, and the feature attributes can also be queried and saved as item types and DGN libraries. So you can see it is very easy to work with, and you can go to properties and you will be able to see all of the information over here. So it's saved as item types and you will be able to query all of these from here. Now, before we go ahead with the next topic, which is photogrammetry, I would like Tulsi to open up some poll questions. Tulsi, over to you.
Yeah, Team Arcans, please roll up the poll questions. Yeah, thank you. Request all the participants, please participate in this poll questions. It will help us to understand you better and, help accordingly.
Uh, okay, I believe 2 minutes has passed. We can close out this poll. Uh, uh, do you have any other polls to run?
Yes, Sanchan, we have a couple of more polls which will roll up in between. So
Sure,
just mention whenever you are comfortable, we'll roll up that.
sure, not a problem, not a problem. Okay, now we can move on to the next topic, which is photogrammetry. Now, moving on, all the previous examples that we had seen were mostly 2D, but we have noticed that, okay, my screen is visible, right? Okay, so previously, most of the examples that we had seen were mostly 2D, but we have noticed that gradually in the infrastructure space, there is an increasing push to generate 3D outputs, along with an interest in using cutting edge technologies like 3D reality model, point clouds, and orthophotos. Now, this is where photogrammetry comes into play. So let's explore this. So photogrammetry is the use of photographs to create an engineering grade 3D representation of objects or site. Photogrammetry and its output are slowly becoming the norm are as they not only help create more information rich model, but they also open the doors for creating a complete digital twin of our assets. We can have images from drone surveys, we can have a point cloud, we can have handheld cameras, and much more to create a 3D representation of our infrastructure or the surrounding areas. So this is a general workflow that I am going to discuss with you. So in this general workflow in a photogrammetry environment, for the photos, we have drone images that can be geotagged. Then we process the images in Bentley's solution itself called iTwin Capture Modeler. And then we can create a 3D reality mesh or a point cloud based on your requirement. Now, once these data are available, you can further edit or modify this output within MicroStation or Descartes. Now, let's see what Bentley Descartes can do for your project. If you work with point clouds, you can leverage Descartes' capability for advanced 3D modeling across sectioning, break lines, 3D lines, and ground extraction to quickly and efficiently model as built conditions and support the design process. You can better evaluate point clouds and produce more accurate engineering models as a result. Now, if you work with reality model, you can use the 3D scalable reality models from real world, which are usually photos textured and automatically created from imagery. And you will be using the Bentley's iTwin capture software. Now, Descartes enable you a faster and easy manipulation of meshes of any scale, as well as the generation of cross section, extraction of ground and break lines, and production of orthophotos. With this, you will be able to generate different type of cross section, extraction of ground, break lines, and orthophotos. You can also create 3D PDFs, iModels, and so on. Now, with scalable terrain model or STM, you will be able to leverage and the new object type designed to provide high-speed data of very large digital terrain. And finally, you will be also able to visualize, manipulate, and edit raster data very easily within MicroStation with the help of Descartes. So, you think that you have a reality mesh of your project site or a point cloud or even a scalable terrain model, and they are extremely useful to your project and an amazing source of real world information. But it is important to transform this data to a data rich and usable information in your project. In other words, you must consume this data. So this is what Descartes helps you with. it maximizes the value of your reality data. Now, before getting into the capabilities of Bentley Descartes, I want to talk about the licensing and activation. In MicroStation 2024, Descartes comes as a companion feature, which is bundled with MicroStation installation program. When installing MicroStation 2024, you are now presented with the option to install the Descartes companion feature as highlighted over here. But please note that for Descartes, an additional license is required. So you just check this option on when the installation and the product will be installed as an add-on to MicroStation. Now, before moving on to examples, I would ask our host to actually go ahead with another poll, and then we will show you some of the example of Descartes. Okay, guys, please vote. We will keep this poll open for a minute. I request all of you to vote over here. Okay, thank you all for voting. Now we can again go back to our examples. So I would like to show you an example of Descartes. So once Descartes is installed on your machine, you will notice on your MicroStation, you now have a workflow called reality modeling. Now from this icon, you can load and activate Bentley's Descartes capabilities. But before doing it, let me go back to the drawing workflow. I can go to the Attach tab. I can go into the point cloud section or the raster section and the reality modeling section. So over here, you will see that I already have tools that is related to raster. I can attach like several format like TIFF and many others. Now, say for example, I want to attach a particular image. I can do that as well. So that is not a problem at all. So what I can do is I can go over here. I can go to the display option and I can close this out. I can then go to point clouds. I can go to file. I can go to the attach option. And from here, you will be able to see a lot of point cloud options are available for you as well. So I can attach point clouds of different formats. And similarly for reality meshes, without even the Descartes activation, I can perform some operation with raster elements, point clouds, reality meshes in regular MicroStation. However, even after all of these, when I come to the reality modeling workflow and I load on the Descartes capability, MicroStation first will remind me that I need an additional license to use this feature, and I choose to display this again. Now, if I process with activating MicroStation Bentley Descartes, I will now be able to use the reality modeling workflow. I have several tools over here in the View tab, in the Attach tab, as well as the Analyze, Retouch, Extract, Deliver. So these are more specific tools for users working with reality data. So you can get a lot more options when you are working with point clouds and reality data whenever you're working with Descartes. So the first thing that comes into mind that, what is a point cloud? So to put it briefly, it is a 3D representation of a reality through individual points. Now point clouds are collected by laser scanners, no other sensors for application in engineering design, construction planning, quality control, to name a few. Now it has some advantages over the other survey format, such as being able to be carried out in inaccessible areas where no physical contact with the object can be done. Now, the benefit of this is that it reduces site visit, it reduces rework in design times, and it is constantly reducing project risk. It produces more accurate deliverables in a much faster manner. So let me show you an example how point cloud can be enriching, segmented, and classified with combining the engineering models. So this is an example of a point cloud used for modeling a building. As we can see over here that the point cloud is set of reality points collected through a laser scanner, and the points have some properties such as location in space through the XYZ coordinate and color data. But these are not elements of a model. So far, they are just points. In this example, the point cloud serves as a basis for modeling the building in MicroStation. After the modeling of the envelope walls, we can see how modeling of columns of a building can also be done. So you can see I can just create a column over here and I can draw a column. So it is that easy. Bentley Descartes provides you the exploration tools which will help you support working on point cloud on MicroStation. Another example is we will see how to attach point clouds in MicroStation. I'm going to start with attaching a point cloud file. It is an E57 format, an open format. Now, when I click on attach, MicroStation looks for a POD format, but it can attach all these formats which are visible over here, which are industry standard open or proprietary formats. Now, I have a sample of a point cloud in E57 format, which I have downloaded directly from the web. So MicroStation prompts me to choose some settings while importing this particular file. I'm going to say OK, and MicroStation asks me where to save the converted format, a POD file on which I can make several operations. I am saving it in the same folder with the same name, and MicroStation does the conversion process. And you can see that this is the point cloud that is attached to my DGN file. Now I have a GCS which is defined with my DGN file. I can also define a GCS for my point cloud. So they are properly aligned with real location. I have chosen, say, for example, a random GCS here, and you can see that my point cloud is now geo-referenced. Now I'm going to explore how, in some ways, to visualize and manipulate my point cloud will be beneficial. Now, when I have a point cloud attached to my DGN file, I get this group, which is called point cloud styles in view attributes. So I can display it in different colors like RGB color, by intensity of points, by elevation, or by some combination like elevation, intensity, classification, and, and so on. Now I'm going to choose the classification. You can see all of the points are changing because we are choosing everything. And you can see these points, these are white because they probably are not classified yet. So another way to explore and navigate through a point cloud is the Visual Explorer. For example, I can activate, say, for example, I want to activate a flashlight to easily identify points relative to my cursor. Now here is a set to display in green, which is forward of my cursor, and red, which is backward, and blue, the points in the plane on my cursor. So it is defined by transparency and thickness. So now let me turn on the flashlight and then I'll start navigating. So I'll keep this particular view. I'll turn on my flashlight and you will be able to see. This is one of the way in which you can explore and manipulate point clouds, and you can support the entire modeling process through this. So there are many ways in which you can work with point clouds in MicroStation. Now let's look some of the modeling tools and output that Descartes will offer to you. So the first one is the Smart Snap tool. It is used to select key points such as lowest and highest, average or median point along the user-defined path. For example, you can find the peak line along the row center line, or a place featured of an edge to a pavement or break lines or terrain models, and so on. The next one is the drape tool. The drape element tool is used to drape linear elements onto reality model. this tool can be used to cut a section through a reality model for analysis or visualization purposes. And there are others like pipe connection tool that creates connection between two pipes, elbow adjust tool, which changes the radius of the pipe elbow dramatically. You can also play along with the fit plane tool, fit cylinder tool. And one of the most important one is the ground extraction tool. So it extracts terrain and automatically classifies ground point. I'll show you a ground extraction example when we talk about reality meshes in a while. You can also colorize the point cloud using colors from overlapping raster attachment, and the tile export tool, which is helpful to export selected point clouds into a series of files according to a defined set of planar shapes, or you can choose the LAS, XYZ, or POD format. So now I'm going to show you that, just for your better visualization, now these are the extended features of MicroStation with Bentley Descartes. Now, just if you are not using Descartes, the ones that are highlighted in blue will not be available to you, but the others will be. So Descartes gives you these additional tools in which you can play along with reality meshes and point clouds. So this particular chart on the left are the MicroStation capabilities for point cloud without the activation of Descartes. And on the right, we see the expanded capabilities of Bentley Descartes, such as drape and snap, classification editing, line and ground extraction, and so on. So the next part is we are going to focus a little bit on reality meshes for MicroStation. So before we go into that, I would request our host to please start another poll. And once that is complete, I'll then dive into reality meshes.
Let's have I think one last poll is there. Okay, thank you so much. Participants request you to please go for the poll.
Okay, thank you guys. We will wait for a minute for this poll. So I would request all of you to please, answer the polls if you want to. Okay, thank you all for participating. I'm closing this poll. And now we are back to the final part, which is reality meshes. So again, when we are moving to reality meshes, like point cloud, it is also a 3D representation of reality. In this case, it is based mostly on photogrammetry collected by photographs, LiDAR scanners, or any other sources for application in engineering design, urban planning, asset management, and environmental management. So the purpose of reality model is to create highly accurate and detailed digital representation of real world objects for structural analysis, construction projects, designing of new products, and through this detailed models of equipments and infrastructure is also visible. The advantage of this is that you get a high level of detail and accuracy. You get flexibility, better communication with stakeholders, and immersive experience for users. So let's explore how the Bentley Descartes can take advantage of this rich source of information and enable the intuitive search, navigation, and visualization part for you. Now, Bentley Descartes actually provides direct integration of high resolution 3D models created by the Bentley iTwin Capture software. Reality mesh models like .3mx can easily be opened directly or attached as a reference to existing model. You can also convert existing 3mx model to scalable mesh format, which is 3SM, as we will see in a while. So in this example, let me first highlight some features and give you an overview of main capabilities while working with reality mesh integration in MicroStation. The first workflow will show you how to process and attaching the 3MX reality model. It can be stored locally on a web data source, and there you will be able to create a quick selection. And again, similarly, like we did with point clouds, you can define the section settings such as level, mode, target view, and others. And placing the desired section line defines the thickness and the direction. So you can get an elevation, for example, and move the section to adjust it, and you will be able to see that a section has been created. So if you view on view 2, you will be able to see that a detailed section of the reality mesh has been created, which shows you that it's in a slope. It has a gradient to it. Now, if you move the section forward and backward, you will be able to see that the section will change as well. So these are the advantages you will be getting with the help of Descartes. Now, the next part is ground extraction. So ground extraction tools allows you to extract terrain and automatically classifies ground points in reality models. This tool actually creates ground points, which are known as seed points. Now, those seed points are used to create a coarse triangular irregular network, which is also known as a tin. This is densified according to the tool parameters. Outputs are produced from densified tin. The user configures settings like the seed mode and the terrain variation and select the source. So as I mentioned, it can be a reality model. It can also be a point cloud. You can then define your outputs that can be only the seed points, a terrain object, or a classified point cloud. You can choose the path for each output you choose before, and the ground extraction tool actually creates the tin and outputs. Now, over here, you can see that this operation generates classified ground points. What that means is that we can isolate the point of interest based on their classification. Here, the red points are produced ground points, and after changing, the display style, we can turn off all the others. So you can manage, modify, and export ground features. And one of the outputs was a terrain object in an STM file, which I'm going to talk about in a while. So let me also talk about orthophoto generation. Again, it can be done from a point cloud or a reality mesh. There is a tool called merge. It is used to copy and merge one of the uh, images contained within the defined area. And it also rasterizes the vector elements into the raster output file. The element can be processed in this merging operation and can be vectors only, rasters only, reality mesh only, point cloud only, or all of the elements. So let's see an example of the reality mesh. From Deliver tab, merge tool, you apply this operation to a desired view. It can be on top, front, or a side view. Now, you can define the output resolution using the relation of two magnitudes like pixel size, DPI scale, sheet size, or number of pixels. And if you combine the quick selection tool with merge tool, you can produce a facade image output like this example. So this is an orthophoto extraction on one axis. Now we come into conversion of 3MX to 3SM file. So as you saw it, both can be used in MicroStation and also by legacy applications that not support scalable mesh. The 3SM format can be archived in ProjectWise as well as on context share. The 3SM is a scalable mesh format. It is used by MicroStation-based desktop applications such as MicroStation, Open Cities Map, Open Roads, Open Building Designer, or Luminati. Here we see how a Bentley Descartes is able to simply convert a 3SM file in 3MX file into a 3SM file. You can simply choose the 3MX input file and the 3SM output file and an optional spatial reference system. And then you can just convert the mesh. Here, users can simply attach and create new 3SM files to check the result. A very simple operation where all the hard work is running in the background and you do not have to do anything. You just have to input and output. Now, from one more scalable mesh, we can do volume calculation with the help of Descartes. This analysis tool compares two scalable meshes. One is a 3SM file and another one is a scalable mesh and an element. Here you can see that I want to actually do a volume calculation. So what I'm doing is I'm selecting the area in which I would like to do the volume calculation. Once the shape is selected, what I can do is I can go to analyze, I can go to volume calculation, and then I will choose the mode. So first I select the shape, and then it will directly create over here. So I fill out all of the information. This is cut fill. I click on save. And based on that, you can see all the analysis is done by MicroStation itself. Now, if I go to home, if I go to attach tool, if I remove this, I only keep this review file, and then I actually fit it, and then let me go and go to the annotate tab and then place a particular table. So from the report that was just created, I can actually keep a report directly inside the model. So you can see I can get the entire volume calculation of the fill area at this particular point. So Descartes helps you in those things. Again, like we did a comparison with point clouds. So when you're using MicroStation for reality meshes, now the ones that are highlighted are the tools that you will get extra if you're using Descartes. If you're not using Descartes, then you will not be able to get these tools which are available. So one of the advantage is that you will also get an tool to upload to project-wise context share, as well as you will get another tool to check up-to-date information, modify terrain scalable mesh, and so on. Now, this is an example of a reality mesh. In this case, a set of 100 of digital images of an existing industrial plant was captured by cameras and processed in the Bentley iTwin Capture Modeler for this digital representation of reality. Now, one of the uses in this case was to create an animation of a crane moving across the site to determine if there would be any collision between the equipment and the existing structure. Now, before putting the crane onto the real path, we are using this animation tools that you will get in MicroStation. And with the help of reality meshes and MicroStation's visualization capabilities, we are seeing whether if there is any fault to the line that is already created. So you can use MicroStation very intelligently. You can use the reality model, the reality data, as well as visualization capabilities without any problem. So finally, this is one of the advantage of Descartes is that in reality mesh, on the left hand side, you will be getting all the MicroStation capabilities in reality meshes. And on the right hand side, these are the expanded capabilities of Bentley Descartes when you're using Descartes with MicroStation for reality meshes. Now, another thing that I want to quickly show over here is an example where I'm incorporating a geographic coordinate system model. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach a map over here. So I'm going to choose the map type to aerial. And once I view this, I'll click on apply and you will be able to see you can place models directly on a particular site that you are wanting. So this is part of the Bing map integration. Now, if I choose none, you will see none of these is a problem. Now, if I want to choose ArcGIS information, I can choose all of this. I will limit it to the first display point, and I will be choosing the foreground. Now, with the help of ArcGIS, I will be able to view data directly inside MicroStation within the model. Now, this is the earthquake data. Now I'm choosing the map server over here. So I can choose another map server. I can choose to copy the URL and then I can save. Once I have saved this, you will be able to see the information is updated without any problem. Now I can choose a new connection where I can paste the new URL and will open this over here. So you can see these many number of connections are getting connected. Once I click on connect, you will be able to see I'll query the features, and all of these will be placed inside my item types. So you can see you can work seamlessly within MicroStation with the ArcGIS information. So you can see hurricanes, floods, all of these information can be incorporated. You just have to choose the display point and in which way you want to view it. So you can see all of the information is available over here, and you can incorporate all of them inside MicroStation without any problem. Now, you can also actually play along with a lot of things within MicroStation. So this is an example of a geo-coordinated model showing the aerial Bing map of the region. Now, over here, we have attached a high quality reality mesh of Pescara city. And just going on to label display tool, we can switch on the city mesh, and on top of the aerial image, you will be able to see that you can zoom in close to the city. On top of the mesh, we can see several DGN files which have been created showing roads, 3D models of houses, and combining all of the reality model together with the 3D model is a very useful methodology to work on new urban planning and city development. So we can use this to uh, work on urban planning of a part of a city or for a city development or for future construction that is required for a particular place and all of this. So you can see reality meshes integrates well with the geospatial workflow and all of the information over here. Now, iTwin is also another advantage you will get with iTwin. With the iTwin capabilities in MicroStation, you will be able to create new models, new eye models directly inside MicroStation. And the eye models that are created has the option to sync to iTwin. So whatever model you are creating can be uh, incorporated directly to the iTwin platform. And I'll show you an example over here that we would like to process this eye model directly to the server. So with the help of iTwin Synchronizer, you can synchronize a view. You can create named version of this. You can provide a description. And once you are done with this, you can click on synchronize. Once the synchronization is done, you will be able to see some of the results. Now we can directly go into the eye model and we can view the eye model directly from here. So I can turn on this and I will open iModel, and you will be able to see that my gas station, which was designed, is opened in my iModel. So with that, we have come to an end for today's discussion. I know it was a lengthy topic. So in conclusion, I would like to say that you have seen that MicroStation is extremely flexible. It is a perfect solution for your photogrammetry as well as GIS workflows. It has unique capabilities that get further enhanced with Descartes and the geospatial workflow, especially with ESRI ArcGIS features. So thank you for your time. If you have any queries, do let us know. I'm happy to answer any queries that you have.
Yeah, Sanchai, we do have one query. Can we integrate drone imaginary to create 3D model?
Yes, definitely. Definitely. Once you have taken all of the images from a drone, for that, you would need iTwin capture for that. So you can process all of the drone images inside iTwin capture, and then you can process the image, the processed image can be then taken into MicroStation without any problem.
Yeah, thank
I
you so
hope
much.
I hope that answers your query.
I think it should. Apart from that, we do have another question. I'll take this up. MicroStation is paid or need licenses. Uh, well, this is something I was talking, before the session actually starts. It is, of course, a paid license or subscription. I mean, you can choose the options you need. We do have perpetual license. We do have 1 year subscriptions as well. So yes, it is a paid service. As and when needed, you can opt for the offerings. For more details, you can contact me or Team Arkan's, later on, and we can help you up on this. So I think we can wait for some more time for the questions to come up. Yeah, we do have.
Yeah. Uh, can we analyze the road network through MicroStation or Descartes? Yes, you can definitely analyze road network through MicroStation. So it depends on what kind of analysis you want. So if you want to do like a, volume calculation, if you want to do certain analysis which is only available through the Descartes use, then you would need MicroStation with Descartes. So as I mentioned in the webinar, so everything can be done within MicroStation. But what Descartes does is Descartes gives you a specific set of tools like volume calculation, ground extraction. These specific tools you will not get in typical MicroStation, but when you use Descartes, you will be able to get all of these tools, which will help you further analyze your models. Now, mostly Descartes is used for reality models and point clouds. Now, if you are not using reality models or point clouds for your road, then you do not need Descartes. You can just go ahead with plain old MicroStation. But if you are integrating reality models and you want certain data from your reality models and point cloud, then yes, you would need Descartes to go ahead with the analysis of your road design. Okay, so we have another question. How can we deal wide water area in drone images to construct orthomosaic? Because I have tried and faced a lot of problem. Not a problem, because we can connect separately, and we can have a separate call with you. We would like to see how you are integrating the drone imagery and what are the problems you are facing, and we can definitely help you out with that. That is not a problem. If you're using iTwin Capture, it is a not problem. We will be able to help you merge or all of your pictures in the form of an orthomosaic. We can definitely, get in touch with you separately.
Okay, we do have one question from Suparna for connectivity calculations.
Oh, okay. So for road design connectivity calculation, Shuparna, I would advise you to go ahead with Open Roads. Open Roads is one of Bentley's road designing solution. So all of the connectivity calculations and everything can be achieved through Open Roads. You might want to have a look at that. Okay, I think there are no more questions. Guys, if you have any questions, we do have a couple of minutes, so please feel to raise it here, or else we will close out the session.
Thank you, Sanchan, for your time, and thank you for delivering an educating session for our users.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, Zartab.
And a special thanks to Tulsi ji and Jagdish ji for sparing time to join these calls. And also, I would like to express my gratitude to our users who has spared time to join this call. If you have any further queries or clarification, please feel free to reach out to us and Bentley. And if you have certain, specific question related to MicroStation and you want us to address, please write an email to us or call us. We will help you out. So with
Yep.
this, I am closing this call. Thank you again.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. Have a nice day. Bye bye.